G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on a brand new map for Age of Empires 4. I was going to call it Cliffside, but I know it's not that. It is Hidden Valley, named after this valley in the middle that is hidden. I'm expecting to see some good action this game. We've got a very hard matchup upon us. The Mongols, the Holy Roman Empire. Let's get to it. Sporting in on the north side of the map in the color teal, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, it's Beastie. And on the south side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Mongols, we've just got our Mongol friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hidden Valley. It is absolutely wonderful to be able to bring you this game. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold because this is a difficult matchup, an incredibly difficult matchup for the Holy Roman Empire. Just to explain a little bit about it. Now, of course, this is a traditional matchup. We've seen it plenty of times before, but obviously the meta continues to change. But one of the things that doesn't change is that the Holy Roman Empire always wants to get to Castle Age. And of course, the Mongols want to do everything that they can to prevent you from getting there. And now we start to see our Mongol player looking to try and take advantage of his early game prowess by going for that barracks. Expect to see two spearmen making their way forward. Expect to see a couple of villagers also brought up here. He will look to deny out this gold, and of course by denying this gold there's a good chance he basically denies this gold as well. It does, actually that's a sheep, but that's a gold right there. But it does leave open this north side, so he will always be cognizant of it. But this map in particular will be difficult for Beastie to defend against what this early aggression will inevitably be. So realistically, the Mongols have got a pretty decent spawn. Have a look at this. He's got himself wood, he's got gold, and he's got deer underneath the town center. So he's having an absolute field day over here. The only thing is the stone's a little bit far away from the base, so it means that if Beastie looks to try and play a feudal age, that it's going to be a bit harder to defend, just simply because it is so far away from the main base. But the reality is Beastie's not going to be doing that. Instead, going to be clicking up now, and it is going to be the Archon Chapel coming down in the back of the base. Beautiful little spot he's got back here. He's got deer, he's got stone, he's got wood. He's going to be very happy with this. And of course, he's got plenty of space to add in farms in the event that this game does go late. He's going to be feeling it. That is for sure. Now, the question's going to be, at least for me, how does Beastie go about looking to defend against this? Because realistically, there's not that much of a threat. Like, of course, you're going to lose your gold, but have a look where the focus is. The focus for Beastie is the Archon Chapel. And I think that's one of the unforgiving things about this map, is that this map, you must make a decision. Am I going to attack the south side? Am I going to attack the north side? You don't get to choose both, and if you do, you spread yourself too thin, and all of a sudden, you're in a difficult spot. But now, Outpost will be coming out. It looks like he's going to be looking to secure it, to hit the berries, as well as the gold. Doesn't obviously see the Archon Chapel down, but knows where it would roughly be at the back of the base here. I'm suspecting he might have even seen it already with the Khan, as the Khan makes its way back towards the main base. But where does Beastie go from here? Now, keep in mind, he's got access to emergency repairs, so that's one of the things he's going to be looking for. Beastie's yet to scout out that north side of the map as he continues to push deer into the Archon Chapel. We've got a nice little loop going here, and you can see him scaring all of these deer. He's doing a wonderful job early on in this game, making sure each of them have got one shot before they need to get taken out. You can see he's actually taking them out pretty damn close here to the Archon Chapel. 3 minutes and 30 into the game, and he's already pushed them this far in. He's having an absolute field day here. Should look to finish off that one. So that's 4. And we'll find out those last 3 as well. You can see how quickly they try and evacuate away from what Beastie's doing. But the age up comes through. Emergency repairs on the front, as we would expect. And where's that archery range? I'm expecting we're probably going to see it thrown down here. Maybe here towards the front. You typically want to avoid it coming down over on the Archon Chapel. And there it is towards the front, being rushed up with 8 villagers. At 4 minutes into the game, Beastie knows exactly what he's doing. He says, I don't want you to be able to take down this mining camp. But the trouble that Beastie's going to have is he's left with 2 options. Number 1 is he needs to deny this position, okay, because he wants to regain his gold. The alternative is that he goes towards the top side and looks to try and move over towards this angle. The problem is if you do that, you open yourself up to Keshiks. So he's going to be left with a tough call here. Spearman actually jumping inside the outpost a little bit early, I would say. Definitely could have looked to stay a little bit longer out here. Maybe even get that bonus, the bounty bonus. The bounty bonus? Yeah, the bounty bonus. You guys know the bounty bonus. The bounty bonus that lives on... Sorry. What lane does he live on? He lives on something lane. Anyway, a double arch is now coming out. He's just going to mind his own business for now, but will eventually lose. In fact, he won't actually lose this mining camp because he's just going to be able to emergency repairs it back up to full every single time he wants to. It's just going to be annoying watching from the perspective of Beastie because every single time, oh my gosh, every single time we do it, it's going to be an attack siren that goes off. But now where does he go from here? So it looks like it's going to be second TC. Now, Beastie's got a couple of options as to where he can place it down. I think the most common would be just a nice close TC somewhere, you know, maybe even in the back of the base like that, but I'd be potentially thinking about moving up towards this top side because obviously your opponent's gone for this early outpost and hasn't really been that successful. You were able to age up. You only responded with a single archery range and you just only got 3 archers out, so it's not a huge loss. And it looks like that's where Beastie moves. Over towards this north side, there's a wonderful little spot. He's going to bore a gold vein and a stone outcropping, and that's definitely going to be a smart move from him. Of course, could go for the large gold vein, but you're quite far forward with that. And here, if your enemy does look to try and attack you towards this northern position, it will inevitably expose them towards that attack from the back, which we've always got to be extra careful of. But on the other side of the map, the silver tree going to be coming up here. Interesting position to be putting this down. I guess he's fearful that Beastie's scout is nearby and that you could just perpetually prevent this silver tree from being put down. So that's always something that you've got to be careful of. But it's going to be 2 TC for Beastie up against the Mongol trade. Definitely a bit of a curious opening, I will say that much. And I think Beastie's come away from this pretty damn well. I think the question for me is going to be how soon does he look to go into Castle Age? Because I know a lot of people would look at this and think, oh, Mongols are trading, we can just go straight into Castle Age. I feel like that would probably be a mistake. The Mongols are absolute powerhouses when it comes to the feudal age, and I think you need to respect that. So Beastie naturally does go for that barracks. We'll be looking to get some spearmen out to help defend up against these Keshiks. Scott the Khan now looking to join up, and will be making his way towards that top side of the map. He's obviously aware of the town center. Question's going to be whether he finds anything else out here. Of course, the Arkan Chapel's still got plenty of food on the backside. Keshik's looking to make their way through. Doesn't spot anything at the moment, but there's the scouting falcon coming out. The villagers under pressure. Immediately, number 1 is going to go down. He's going to need to get textiles here. You just can't do it otherwise. It's going to be way too hard playing around that scouting falcon, but he does opt for those early spearmen here. So keep that in mind. He could look to rely on that instead. Double broadaxe now going to be coming in for our Mongol player. Traders under attack. I'd love to see him move their silver tree just a little bit further. Well, he's actually going to do it. He's going to put the market down, but even then, I just prefer the silver tree coming down all the way in the corner. It's curious. I don't know exactly what the reason is for him doing this, but hopefully he switches off the home marketplace to this one here. Makes it a little bit easier, but now Keshik's towards that top side, going to deny the mill from this position. Oh, he got the bounty. Oh, very, very unfortunate there. Beastie having to cancel it and giving over that bounty. Didn't want to give up the 50 wood. Definitely the right call there, because it was just a matter of, you know, is it the 50 wood or is it the bounty? Definitely want to look out for yourself, but outpost over on this east side as well. It's going to see arrow slit emplacements coming through. 14 villages over here. Keep in mind there's 7 places inside the town center, 5 inside the outpost, which leaves 2 villages with not enough space inside those garrison positions. Nicely done here by Beastie, just making enough spearmen to deal with this threat. Second barracks going to be dropped down and looking to move into a stable. Inspired by Give You Anxiety, it seems, as he's gone for the 1-1-1 opening here. Just mixing it up a little with that barracks, but on the other side, the archery range now going to start coming down as well for our Mongol player. No real surprise here, but the feudal age is definitely starting to get a little bit hectic here, as both players focusing on their economies. I suspect that Castle's probably going to be pretty close around the corner for these two guys. It feels like both of them have somewhat stabilized with their economies. For me, the big thing is going to be about our Mongol player and defending his trade. Once Beastie gets to Castle Age, it's going to open him up to a world of hurt. Of course, the Knights, are incredibly decent against Keshiks. And so it means that they're going to have control down on this position. So ideally, we'd like to see things like outposts coming up here, and we can see the villager now moving out here is going to help with that defensive line, I suspect. But Beastie still only yet to lose the 1 villager at this stage. Early on, spearman moving over towards that Keshik. Keshik just trying to taunt the spearman almost. Not going to be able to find it for the moment. Now down towards that south side. He continues the pressure towards the mining camp. Beastie looking for that Castle Age. He's got the resource allocation for it. I say looking for the Castle Age. He's really quite happy just chilling out here in the Feudal Age. Plenty of upgrades coming through. He's going to pick up double broadaxe, wheelbarrow, and forestry. The triple wood gathering upgrades. You'll love to see it. Now over towards that east side of the map, you can see Beastie saying, "You shall not trade, my friend." Nice little skewer there, able to take out the first of the Keshiks, but more Keshiks going to come through. Looks like our Mongol player will be able to clean up Beastie's little endeavor over here, over on the east side. So he'll be happy with that. But now that's going to reset Beastie's army for the most part. He'll lose out quite a fair bit of units here, but still manages to take quite a few with him. The Keshiks have gone down. Only one of them on low health. Now those Mongol trader numbers continue to build. He's up to 8 traders at this stage. Silver Tree coming out. You can see that he's got that... the trader here has got the home route set to the market, but every trade that comes out is a little bit below where it should be, just simply because it's being made by this Silver Tree. So there's no real way that you can bug this anymore. This used to be the way that you could bug it, but not going to be the case. The outpost has come up, which means that inside that outpost, the traders will be able to jump to safety. This is something I was very fearful of once Beastie reached the Castle Age, but it looks like Beastie's not even needing to reach the Castle Age here. He's just going to start issuing cease and desists in the Feudal Age. Fair enough, Beastie. I'll accept it. Expect to see more outposts coming up as we do see the blueprint for it now being laid down. Keshik's going to be able to make the end of these horsemen here. And now we start to enter into the mid-game. We'll switch it over to income per minute. Get an idea of where these two stand. It looks like Beastie at about 2k compared to his opponent at about 1.4k. So Beastie with a large advantage at this stage. Going to be able to point towards the boar, point towards the prelates. You can see he's got one prelate over here with 23 villagers on gold. That is a huge amount of villagers on gold, but very well recognized by Beastie to move those villagers out when he did. Look to secure that second town center and guarantee that he's got a gold income to get him through to the Castle Age. You can see him positioning for that Castle Age now. The question's going to be about how many relics he looks to pick up. I think he's in a strong position. Probably doesn't need to go to the Berkshire. I think the Regnitz should be fine here. Khan will go down. Keshik's able to chase away the horsemen. But I think the Regnitz will complement exactly what his goals are in this game quite well. So I'd be surprised if he does go for the... Did I say the Berkshire? The Burgrave. I swear I said the Berkshire, didn't I? Oh my lord. Losing it sometimes. Single Keshik back here does manage to get a villager. And Beastie now. Reinforcements get cleaned up, and it is going to be the Regnitz Cathedral being thrown down in the north of the map. No real surprises there. Beastie, of course. No, I wouldn't really say he's a fan of... Well, I would say he's more not a fan of the Burgrave. I think there's... I remember him saying there's like one circumstance where you can take the landmark, but pretty much other than that, it's kind of not useless, but you just don't need it. You just don't need it. Anyway, we've got villagers being caught out of position here. Expect to see Beastie throwing down more stables. Let's see if we can find them. He's got the first stable here. A little bit of a farm transition coming through as well. Quite far away from this Archon Chapel. They do come down now. Interestingly, a lot of farms, but not a lot of production here for Beastie. Over towards that east side, it looks like he's able to take out that home market as the Uvu gets depleted. And now Beastie begins to move forward with that Spearman-Horseman combo. Plenty of spears on the map for him as he looks to defend against that roaming cavalry threat of the Mongols. Still doing a decent job here. Not enough archers coming out from our Mongol player. You can see he's somewhat struggling here with the numbers. The economy of the beast quite strong. And I'm going to be honest, he's in a decent position now. I mean, the fact is, he was able to do everything he needed to do. He planned to lose this gold, and I think that's exactly it, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But Beastie obviously didn't fail to plan. He knew exactly what the go was. He said, I'm going to age up quickly. I'm going to put my Archon in the back of my base, away from my gold. I'm going to make sure I get my archery range out. Now, what kind of different game would have it been if this outpost had instead been over on the Archon side? If it had been over on the stone outcropping, if it had been over here on the wood line, I think it would be a completely different game. And I think that's largely it just comes down to luck, right? You know, at the end of the day, the Uvu spawned here on the south side, the barracks went up here, and you can walk all the way around this edge, but it feels so much slower. You just don't want to do it. And naturally, you make your way over towards that side, and you're like, it's gold, all right, we'll do gold. But Archon Chapel was definitely the goal at the end of the day. And unfortunately for our Mongol player, it just feels like it might have been the wrong choice not to go for it. But Anyway, Beastie now looking to wall up, plenty of spears out. He's looking to pick up veterancy. We see horticulture already through. He's picking up fertilization. Lumber preservation also going to be coming through here for him. The age up comes through for our Mongol player. It's going to be the Kurultai, as is mandatory. One of the things I often mention when we're watching Mongol games, I think I just did this in the last cast that we did, is that whenever you're going for Mongol trade, it's okay to skip the step route out. The step route out is a really good landmark, right? It allows you to turn this 8,000 gold into 12,000 gold. It guarantees that you've got a much bigger gold economy than your opponent. However, another way to do that is just by simply going trade. So in the games that you do go trade, which, by the way, it looks like these traders are yet to be reset towards this market. I guess he hasn't really moved it over yet, but the games that you do go the traders, you just simply don't need that extra gold coming through from the step route out. It's one of those things where you don't need the Burgrave over on the other side when you've got an economy that is just pumping like this and you've got a safety net. But it looks like it's going to be barracks. Stable getting thrown down. Knight going to be coming through. We'll be moving into men-at-arms. I do know that he's already got that movement speed coming through for his infantry. He's already mined out the first gold. And I love the fact that this outpost still stands tall for our Mongol player. This is absolutely ludicrous. 16 minutes into the game, Beastie is just treating this like a honey badger. He does not give a crap about this at all. Still just throwing out the emergency repairs on it, so it never really goes down. And now those spears moving up. It looks like Beastie almost tempted to throw away these spears for the moment. Just being a little bit, I wouldn't say a little bit cheeky, but just getting rid of it. You know, I don't need these spearmen. You guys go live your life. And now the men-at-arms together with the knights will finally clear out this outpost at the 16th minute. That is absolutely ludicrous how much he allowed himself to just fall back. And I think you got to respect him for it. Now, I'll be honest, it really can come down to the map. And I think in this game, Beastie has played the map perfectly. One of the other things to note is that the spawns have gone quite well for him, while at the same time not particularly well for the Mongol player. One of the things to note is that quite often on this map, you'll get gold spawns on only one side of the map. Sometimes you'll get only gold spawns down here on the south side, and then on the north side, you'll only get stone. And often the inverse happens where you get gold on the north and stone on the south. But rarely, I say rarely, it's probably not rarely, but it's quite uncommon that it's not even quite uncommon, it's probably like a 50-50 split, it feels like, where you actually get gold and stone sharing their sides. So I think that was very fortunate for Beastie because, you know, in the event that the top side had no gold on it whatsoever, he'd be up shit creek without a paddle. And quite honestly, that's not where you want to be without a paddle. You know, there are lots of places you could be without a paddle, but shit creek, up it, you don't want to be there. Nice little Wallalo though, coming in. Plenty of prelates here. He's got 4 of them out on the map already. Not even bothering. Does he have Inspired Warriors? No Inspired Warriors just yet. We can see he's looking to pick up 2-handed weapons. Also looking to pick up not decarbonization. It is decarbonization. There we go, we got it. Crossbow number starting to build though, and it looks like our Mongol player will be moving into that coveted spearman crossbow combo. One of the best combos in the game. Any way that you can to improve this combo, it's going to mean the strength of your civ rises significantly. Of course, the Mongols do have that extra movement speed from the YAM network, which is going to be buffing up these units significantly, and meaning that that crossbow spearman combo is a very nice option for him. On top of that, for the Mongols, you do have access to that wonderful technology. I'll see if I can find it here. I'm looking for it. It's called Siege Engineering. You guys will be familiar with it, but not just any Siege Engineering. I'm talking about the improved one that allows you to make mangonels, springalds out on the map. You get those crossbows, you get those spearmen, move forward with a couple of springled emplacement outposts, and then start making those mangoes, springalds on the front line, and have yourself an absolute field day as your opponent tries to match your numbers. Now, looks like the raid does get cleaned up. Our Mongol player at 119 population compared to Beastie at 114. At this stage of the game, it's pretty even Stevens. Distinct lack of prelates in the economy here for Beastie though, but the farming economy is looking pretty good for him. We're right on board now as these crossbows and archers begin to move forward, looking to try and pick off any units they can spot, denying out that outpost, saying you shall not post. That was good. That was an underrated comment right there from Drongo. How has that never been said before? I think this might be the first time in history that has been said. You shall not post. You know, it's probably been said in the context of Twitter, formerly X. No, wait, X, formerly Twitter. But today's an exception. Anyway. All right, Beastie I feel like he might have been looking for an Imperial Age. He's got a lot of resources stacked up. Could even be looking for a keep here on the north side. To be honest, doesn't really need it until trebuchets come out. I think once the trebs come out, then you can probably look to get that keep down. Of course, the keep is nice, but at the moment, Beastie's just focusing on getting out as many units as he can. Springald Emplacement going to be coming through on this outpost. Also looking for fortification. The number of units here definitely feeling a bit lackluster. And there's the keep going for a little bit more defensive away from that front line. It's not going to get spawned out just by his opponent just yet. But right as it goes down, he immediately commits and Beastie realizes, oh no, it's time to go. Mongols throw up the attack speed. Gets a little bit more damage in there. There's plenty of spears on the back line together with the men-at-arms. Horsemen running around the side. Kurultai unable to get down onto the ground. You got to drop it down low, Kurultai. A single horseman preventing the Kurultai, the hero horseman, to save the game right here as Beastie repels the front line. No heals coming through for these Mongol units at all, at least not today, as unfortunately that Kurultai is forced away. And Beastie, a happy little Vegemite, as bright can be. Oh my lord. What a defense by Beastie right there. Absolutely brilliant, but at the same time, I think there was a pretty large mistake coming out from his opponent. Now, I'm just going to mention this. Keep in mind, Beastie's opponent, rank 12 on the ladder. This guy is good. He is really good, exceptionally good. That's kind of wild. Beastie obviously, best in the world, so no real surprise there, and he's looking to try and get around that Kurultai. If he can deny this out, it's going to put his opponent in a really awkward position, but oh, he almost gets it. More units coming up here. Still didn't get the surround. He's looking to try and get his way out, up against the wood line. Needs to keep the Kurultai alive. Plenty of units coming through the Kurultai. Oh, he's trapped by his own units. He's trapped by his own units. Beastie's going to try and get him. Looks like he continues to move forward. Keep in mind, Beastie's got that extra movement speed. Does he get it down? He gets it down. The Kurultai is down. And that means that you're going to have yourself a really solid defense here. My gosh, you can just feel how tense these fights are. As soon as that Kurultai comes down, Beastie respects it. He says, we can't fight under the Kurultai. You've got that extra damage. You've got that extra healing. I just cannot do it. And a very smart decision there from Beastie. But over on that north side of the map, the stone walls have come up completely for Beastie. Have a look at this. Palace of Swabia also in a beautiful little position. He's got right on a brand new wood line as well. This is looking good for Beastie as Imperial Age is well. Yeah, you know what I was gonna say? You've got 107 villages. You don't need to go for Swabia here. Like Swabia is one of those things where it's like, it's nice early, and even late game it's good because it's an insulation or it's an insurance policy against raids, right? Like let's say the enemy comes in and they kill like, here we go, 27 villages, and you're like, oh no, I lost 27 villages, that sucks. And then the Palace of Swabia is just like, and all of a sudden that villager deficit is completely rebuilt. So it's good in that regard, but at the same time, the Elsbach Palace is definitely Giga Chad tier. So I'm hoping to see Beastie really look to secure this. I love the fact that he's done it on the trade post as well, just to make sure that if the enemy just gets any ideas about throwing down a market down on this side, it's well and truly covered. All right, well, Beastie now begins to add in just a little bit of production, just you know, sometimes you got to do it. You just got to add in just 7 stables. Yeah, don't mind me, just eight barracks. Yeah, you know, we got to do it. I love the way that it's just melee units as well, playing the true theme of the Giga Chad here. And of course, adding the cherry on top, it is going to be the Siege Workshop. This is really important and something that I often mention when I'm coaching over on Patreon. So if you'd like to see that, or if you'd like to get coaching yourself, make sure you check it out if you're interested in improving in Age of Empires 4. But one of the things I mention is that when you talk about that beautiful composition for the Holy Roman Empire, one of the keys that you're looking for here is a big mass of melee units. So that's whether that's knights, whether that's horsemen, spearmen, whatever it is. We don't want to go crossbows, we don't want to go archers, and then behind that, what we want to do is we want to look for a 3-composition siege army. So what we're looking for are mangonels. Normally 2 mangonels is enough, 2 culverin to defend them, and then 2 bombards to deal with any potential threat. Now in this matchup, you could probably get away with 1 bombard, but it's nice just having that 2nd bombard just to guarantee that any outposts are getting 1 shot. But now that push-up's starting to come through. Looks like the Kurultai's in a bit of a tough spot here. You can see the Imperial Age has come through from Beastie. He's looking to pick up all the elite upgrades. Imperial Age now coming through from our Mongol player as well. He needs to wait until the Imperial Age upgrades come through. He can't fight right now. This is not a good fight. You can see he's got the upgrades coming through. He needs to wait 60 seconds, but Beastie's already got the jump on him. 15 seconds. Beastie's upgrades are coming through. You can see he's picked up no upgrades for anything else. It's just the spearmen and now the crossbows behind this, looking to fight it out. Beastie with a huge mass of infantry infantry pushing up here. Crossbows trying their best to keep it together. More infantry on the backside. Traders starting to get embroiled in the fight as well. Not going to be able to find too much success here, it looks like, as our Mongol player is holding on for the moment, but look how many horsemen are coming up the rear. Beastie's melee madness continues against the Mongols. He's really starting to struggle now. You can feel it. He's overwhelmed by the amount of units here. The elite upgrades only just coming through now. 18 seconds. He's fought a minute too early. And the Kurultai, he was trying to get it down. It looks like it's not going to go down, except the only thing that's going to be going down is the Kurultai, but it's not going to be the going down that we like. This is the type where we unfortunately have to yell, Timber! He can always just pull Vils. He's got Vils nearby. He'll be fine. He just needs to keep it alive. You know, you want to keep that bad boy burning, keep it glowing, run around it like a little campfire. But for the most part here, our Mongol player has managed to hold. The problem's going to be he's lost trade. And if he loses trade and Beastie gets this keep down, you're going to be in a real bad spot. Kurultai now comes up, providing that healing. This could be the difference that he needs in this fight. The crossbow numbers are looking good. The elite crossbow status has come through. He needs to add in elite spears here and start transitioning into hand cannoneers. That's going to be the main goal for him. Hand cannoneers are out, but where are those spearmen? There's not even a single spearman on the field. This could be a huge mistake coming through from our Mongol player. He's pumping resources as fast as he can. He's at 2k food a minute right now, 1,700 gold. Looking to try and pick up as many upgrades as he can. What is that upgrade? That's the Mongol outpost upgrade. Look at that. Pax Mongolia. He's trying to pick it up right now. Only got arrow slits on these buildings, but there we go. The Mongol upgrade comes through. He's pushing forward to the keep. Beastie trying to get it up, and you can see he's got plenty of villages here. 15 villages. If this comes up, then the outposts will be denied. The trade will be cancelled, and that is not a good time to be not a good time to be cancelled right now. Right as you hit Imperial Age, the numbers still looking pretty good, and you can see he's trying to get those hand cannoneers to deny out the villages, but unfortunately, they're getting eaten alive, and with those villagers still alive, able to get the keep up, it means that the army here, look at the army still being healed up by the Kurultai. Insane range on this Kurultai, really trying to keep it all together. Remember, if this keep does come up, you're going to be in a bit of a difficult spot, because once that emplacement comes through, you're going to have a tough time defending. And now have a look at this. 50 military for Beastie, 11 military for the Mongols. That was the Imperial Age timing we were looking for. Meanwhile, on the north side, the Elsbach Palace sits strong. He's yet to pick up any of the emplacements for it, but it doesn't really matter. And now those Mongol outposts will look to defend. Elite upgrades on the spearmen, veterancy on the horsemen, still yet to pick up those elite upgrades, and the outpost goes down so damn quickly. Mongol army continues to build, but he's only got 15 military population. Our Mongol player holding on for dear life. He's lost out the trade completely. And remember that the beast in the north has walled things off. There's no way you're getting through for this bad boy, especially with that Elsbach on standby. And now the keep comes online. Beastie reaches his final form, 115 villages, 2 relics. But I tell you what, 2 relics that are pretty decent Regnitz relics. I'll take him over the 3 relics of his opponent. But hey, well done by our Mongol player for getting 3 relics. I've just realized 27 minutes into this game that he's managed to deny 3 relics. So pretty damn well done. But look at the number of traders that are building up here. 26 traders currently sitting idle. Kurultai going to be forced back, and while that Kurultai is being forced back, it is not going to be healing up. He's got a bad position for it here. Maybe extending that range out a little bit towards that front side. We'll see if we can find it up towards the north. Beastie now going to open up a second front. The Mongols not going to be able to wall off that front. Instead, going to have to fight it the good old-fashioned way with units and outposts. And doesn't that just feel terrible to do as those units start to stream out for Beastie? He's got more rallied in here. He knows he's got his opponent stuck on the edge in the town center. Once this town center comes up, there's no way this keep goes down. The keeper's got so many upgrades. He's got things like reinforced defenses. Doesn't increase the health of the keep, it does increase the health of everything around it, your outpost, etc. He's also got access to slate and stone construction, and of course, court architects, inevitably when it comes through from the university, is going to enable this keep to never die, because the emergency repairs will never let it go. It's never going to give him up. It's never going to let him down. Most importantly, it's never going to run him around. University. We spotted out the court architects could be through soon. Plenty of idols sitting right here. We can see just how many he's got that are idle, ready to hand in that gold. You can almost bring them down around the bottom part here. Look to try and catch him, but you can hear that emplacements now through on the keep. A little bit dangerous pushing up. He's going to need bombards, but remember that as soon as you get your bombards out, and he's got them out over here, then you're up against Culverin coming through from Beastie, and then I guess the reaction is roller shutter triggers, but roller shutter triggers improved. And now on this north side, take a look at this. Beastie going to start pushing in on the north, trying to find a way through, and definitely will be able to find it. Have a look how many battering rams he's got out. 7 battering rams on the field at the moment, 2 of which are on this side. 3, 4, 5, 6. All the battering rams are coming to the party. There's nothing like a good old ram party. And now all of a sudden, the game is called. Jeez Louise, that was absolutely a Beastie demonstrating his prowess in this matchup and showing just how good you got to be to deal with it. Incredible performance by the Beast. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch him live, but I'm sure you already know where it is. But anyway, we'll leave the link down there and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.